Hello, my lovelies. I am Madam Crystal Butterfly. And you know what, my lovelies? I've decided it is high time we have a little chitty chat about book covers. Because when you're an independent author like me, all this book cover mess is 100% on you. That's right. You have to pick what you want for your book cover. If you can't draw nice, hire an artist to do it for you, and also hire somebody to turn said book cover art into a book cover so that you can have attractive book covers like these. But even though I just spelled out the process for you, it's not as easy as it sounds. But don't worry, I am going to break this down even more so you don't have to deal with that total headache that I had to deal with. Okay, my lovelies, the first step, if you want a really good book cover, is to not be a flipping cheap ass. That's right. Don't go cheap with your book cover. Now, I'm not telling you to go spend $10,000 or even $1,000 or even $600 getting a book cover done. But if you try to be cheap, you're going to have the same problem I did. And trust me when I say, you do not want to go through that. When I tried to be cheap, I told the artist to use a red-eyed tree frog in the middle of a lake on top of a golden ball and make sure that frog has a bit of a smirky smirk. And I did not get what I have now. I did not get this. Instead, I got this. Okay, my lovelies, for starters, I believe that person photoshopped the cover because this was a person who said, oh, I can do the art and the book cover for you. And they photoshopped it. And also they did not listen to me because I said that this is a big people's book. And they designed a cover for little people. Like, I have to admit, that frog is really cute and it does look very kid-friendly. But obviously, I could not use that. This is not even close to what I wanted. So, I ended up wasting a few bucks on a cover that just does not work for my story. So I tried again. And I decided to spend more money and I'll get a better artist, which was my smart move. But what ensued after that, unfortunately, was the next problem in this process. Alright, my lovelies, before I get into my second attempt to get better art for my book cover, I do want to have a little chat with you guys about getting a Photoshop cover. This is cheaper to do, and if you have somebody who knows what they're doing, you can get a very attractive book cover that could attract people to buy your book. But it would be wise and in your best interest to just not get involved of any of those photoshopped covers. Not just because they are not as nice as the type of cover an artist could create for you, but not everybody is honest with photoshopped book covers, and a lot of times that art may be stolen from somebody else and was not a part of fair use. And you're not going to know if the person who did it for you 100% is an honest person who used some art for fair use, or if they were dishonest and they just slapped something together so they could get your money. So really, when it comes to Photoshop stuff, I would suggest to you, my lovelies, to avoid it like the plague unless you have 100% insurance that this person is on the up and up and you don't have to worry about them giving you art that you cannot legally use for your book cover. Now to the next artist I hired to design art for my book cover. This artist did not know how to convert the art into a book cover, but there are people who will take your art and convert it into a book cover for you. That's not really a big problem. The problem was with this artist, okay, I will give this artist their props. They did listen to me more about it being more of a serious theme. Because, my lovelies, as you can see from this is more of a serious cover. It doesn't 100% capture the more adult look I wanted, but the theme is better, and it does not seem to be hardcore trying to attract babies unless you're dealing with a person who sees a frog and doesn't want to check an age restriction. Anyway, okay, so this artist did a much, much better job of capturing what I wanted, and that is good because when it comes to the artwork for your book, it is imperative you have an artist who understands your vision for what you want. And this artist was more expensive, but they did not break the bank for me. So, that was on the plus side as well. However, as a noob to the world of authordom back then, I was not 100% as assertive as I should have been with the person who converted my art into a book cover, which was a big old problem for me. But I admit I made that mistake out of nervousness from being new. Because for the first artist, added all that nice detail and everything else to make the book look more attractive. The person who converted into a cover, do you see a lot of that detail is lost? And by the way they did the title, they made it look a bit more kid-friendly. So, yeah, was not cutting it and really sent the wrong message. So the art I had before was not cutting it, and the final design of the book, although nice and much nicer than what I would have had if I had stuck with the first photoshopped image that I received. This is much nicer than that, but it's not hitting the mark. So what did I do next? Well, I accepted a couple of truths. One, even though this artist I hired the second time was much better, I decided, especially since by then I was finished with Violet Evergreen and the Seeds of Rebellion, that I needed to go in an entirely new direction for my book covers. And when I decided I was going to go in a completely different direction for the art for my books to make them more attractive, I decided that maybe a more realistic image would capture more of what I wanted with my books. So I started looking for a new artist, someone who does more realistic art. And I also, when I found one, made sure that this person is somebody I could work with and I wouldn't be breaking the bank hiring this person. And you know what, my lovelies? It worked out for me because now I have the much lovelier covers for my books that I have now, especially after I hired this artist. I also found somebody who would listen to me convert the art into some really, really nice book covers that I am proud of. So let's review the lessons. 1, do not be a cheap butt. It is not worth it. You are not going to move books or get the cover you're looking for. Just don't. Next, get an artist that you can work with. Don't waste your time with somebody who doesn't listen to you. And also make sure the person converting your book cover listens to you too, so that you can have an attractive book to attract people to buying your book. Now, do you have to do the whole find an artist you can work with and have somebody design the book cover? Yes, you do. And there are instances where you can get both at once, so you don't have to deal with different people to get that achieved. There's a website, I am showing it right here, right now, because as of the filming of this video, I don't remember the name. But I am putting the name right there. And I'm also going to put the link to it down below, because this website will allow you to write what you want your book cover to look like, and artists will see it, and they will audition to create your book cover for you. So you can get it one and done, but it is $300, which at the time of me doing my book covers, I was not willing to pay, even though I should have in the beginning, because then it wouldn't have taken me as long to get some book covers that I know matches the feel of my stories. But really, in the end, pick whichever methodology you feel more comfortable with, whether it be the website I just recommended or going through artists one by one and going through people who will convert books into book covers. And if you're wondering, well, you're telling me to find an artiste to do that, but where do I find one if I want to just go through their art individually and pick someone instead of using that website you recommended? Well, in my case, I found both my artists and people who converted my book covers into a book on Fiverr. So if you go to Fiverr.com, they got a ton of very talented artists. And if you can find one who you feel you can work with and capture the image of your book, along with somebody who you can work with and capture the final design of what your book cover should be, then go for it, There are a ton of people on Fiverr who are willing to do that for a reasonable price. Only hard part you'll have to do is sorting through to see who you want to hire. You know something, my lovelies? With that, this video is a wrap. And if you've made it all the way to the end, first I would like to say thank you. And also, if you have not yet, give this video a like. Leave me a comment. And if you have not yet, slap the subscribe button like it owes your money. And don't forget to give that little notification bell a ring. Alright, my lovelies, now, if you please, come with me as we launch into a world